Thanks for that.
That's a great crowd, right? Come on, that feel good.
Justin Timberlake was here.
No, it's you, but it's all you. There's so much I want to get into. First of all, I want to ask you, because you've been in so many classics, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, but also, Kissing Booth, Riverdale as well. I feel like, are you an expert on teenagers at this point?
You would think. Yeah. I think that people ask me to be a part of any teenage project, like I'm like the teen Buddha or something.
Yeah.
You know, the patron saint of teenagers.
Yeah.
And I have teenagers too, and I thought that I would be sort of like the know-all, you know, no surprises. And of course, when my daughter Matilda turned 16 years old, she had a rager of a party at our house, and we live, you know, in kind of a small town. She was taking all of our art off the wall, and I thought, oh, well, she just doesn't like my art. She doesn't think it's cool enough, but whatever, that's cool, you know. And then my husband and I were going to a literary event further upstate, and she told us that the party was starting at, I think, 8 or 9 o'clock, and actually it started at 5. And by the time we got there, it was like 200 people at our house. I'm not kidding.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
It was like you take any party from a movie that I've been in, and then you multiply it by, you know, I don't know, 3 and, you know, or 10 or whatever, and that was it. And then the police arrived.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So this is a rager at Molly Ringwald's house.
Yes. No, the police arrived, and my daughter, who evidently has seen too many Law and Orders, told the police that they couldn't come in without a warrant.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And by the way, we're like up in the room trying to be cool parents and just sort of let her do her thing. And then the police apparently just sort of said, get out of the way.
Yeah, everyone go home.
And came in and said, everyone go home. And yeah, it was, but you would have thought that I would have been prepared for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, but you had one pretty awesome rager.
Yes, yeah.
That's all you need.
It is now in the town lore. Everybody knows about Matilda's 16th birthday party.
Yeah, exactly.
And now the whole world does.
Yeah, the whole world knows about it. Can we talk a little bit about John Hughes? I know his name comes up all the time in interviews with you, but you guys work so well together. What was he like as a director, and was he collaborative?
Oh, yeah, he was incredibly collaborative. I mean, he was, you know, wrote some of the best scripts that I ever read, you know, to this day.
And were they the same script, like when you get it and you go, like, oh, yeah, the audition for it, you go, this is the movie, and then you do it?
Well, I actually never auditioned for him. I never. No, I met him originally for 16 Candles. And as the story goes, well, he told me the story, so. He had gotten my picture from a stack of headshots from ICM, and he just had it up on his wall, and he wrote 16 Candles over a weekend looking at my picture. So when it was time to cast it, he was like, cast the girl in the picture. I'm the girl in the picture.
Yeah, he's like, hey, nice to meet you. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah. I had heard something like the Breakfast Club, when you guys all got together, you had a 2-week rehearsal period or something?
Yeah, it was something crazy. It may even have been longer than 2 weeks, but he offered me and Anthony Michael Hall, who's plays
he's amazing.
Brian. Amazing actor. He offered us the Breakfast Club at the end of 16 Candles, and I read it immediately, wanted to do it. But by the time that it actually filmed, it had changed a lot. And John was a really fast writer. He was not as great with rewrites, so he was trying to please everyone, trying to please the studio, and just kind of adding stuff. There was a naked teacher in there at one point, swimming, and, you know, and he said, are you excited about doing this? And I said, yeah, I'm excited, but it's really different than it was, you know, when I agreed to do it. And he said, really? And the next day he brought in a stack, I'm not kidding, like this high, and had all of us just sit there and kind of thumb through it and say, oh, what about that part? That's amazing, and back in.
We're like, oh, I like this monologue. Why don't we put this back in?
Yeah, we don't like this part, take this out.
Really?
Yeah, and he was really collaborative, and you know, we would they were so well written that we would always just kind of do it as written, and then he would say, now just do what you want. And then,
good. And the famous dance scene, when you do this, do you know Yeah. Do you know what you're going to do when you do it?
Well, originally that character, my character of Claire, who was originally called Kathy, I changed her to Claire because I thought that was fancier. Sorry to Claire.
Good job. Yeah, sorry to Kathy, yeah.
And yeah, she was supposed to be a really great modern dancer. And so there was a big scene where I was supposed to, I don't know, become like Martha Graham and impress everyone with my skills. But I was not a great dancer. I don't think I've ever been a great dancer. So then he said, okay, well, let's just have everyone dance. And so that's how it became the sort of everyone dancing, and I did my little move.
But your little move and your dance move became a dance called the Molly Ringwald.
I know, but I really just stole it from Belinda Carlisle on the Go-Go. She's so that's really a Belinda dance.
Yeah, that's a Belinda dance.
Yeah.
It's legendary. It's fantastic. I will say, by the way, I love your voice, by the way. You're a great singer
thank
as well.
you. Thank you.
I want to hear more stuff if you have more stuff coming out singing-wise. I'd love to do that.
Thank you.
But let's talk about Feud, because this is insane. The cast has been mostly on our show. Chloe Sevigny, who I think you said your daughter loves Chloe.
My daughter loves Chloe, yeah, more than me.
No, yeah.
No,
but she wants to be.
That.
She is an actress.
She is an actress now, and not that she's, you know. Yeah, she's a very good actress, and she's going to college at the same time, studying the psychology of theology. And yeah, she loves Chloe and her career, and sort of wants to pattern her career after Chloe. And I totally support that. I think Chloe is amazing.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. Yeah. Chloe is fantastic. You're in this. Do you know any of the cast when you get into this cast? Demi Moore and.
I didn't really, I mean, the only one that I really knew fairly well was Naomi, but not even that well. To me, I mean, people think that we, you know, because we're part of this, you know, Brat Pack thing, but we never really knew each other at all. We never worked together. People think that we had like picnics every Sunday or something.
But you did, not at all.
No, these are all women that I admired from afar. We've been, you know, up for a lot of the same parts, and you know, we've sort of seen each other across the room. But it was really nice to work with them, and I mean, even though it seemed, and Ryan Murphy, yeah.
He just puts it all together, huh? That guy is unbelievable.
He does. He has incredible taste in people and talent, and you know, puts these incredible casts together. And yeah,
Can we tell the story about Capote versus Swans?
Yeah, I play Joanne Carson, who was the wife of Johnny Carson, who, I mean, it was a little bit like, I mean, you could say she was sort of like Nancy, I guess. She was the wife of, you know, the host of The Tonight Show, and was, you know, kind of part of this Hollywood elite. And then she and Johnny got divorced, and she was sort of on the outs. And then Truman had this incredible feud with these women who were like the influencers. I mean, they're on the poster, they're calling them the original housewives. And which I think is a great way to market it, but it's also, you know, the housewives are not just housewives. They are all women who are very accomplished in their careers.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, these women were all very smart, very capable, very stylish. And they befriended Truman, who kind of wanted to be part of that, you know, world. And then he wrote about them, very thinly veiled expose, fictionalized, and it was
secrets and everything.
Spilled all the tea, and
that was the end of.
And that was the end of that friendship. And so Joanne was really the friend who stuck by him. And he, you know, died in her arms, pretty much.
Oof, I cannot wait to see this. I want to show everyone a clip. Here is Molly Ringwald in Feud, Capote versus the Swans. Take a look.
Hi, honey.
Oh, hi. I come bearing gifts.
Ooh, gracias. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Mwah. Mwah.
Why is your friend sitting in the car?
John wants me to buy him a house in Malibu. Little Prince Pauper is pouting. Once he realizes there's a Manhattan waiting for him, he'll come in. When's dinner?
In an hour, but there's lots of snacky, drinky things. I hope you like nachos and tamales.
I love.
Do you know what that is?
Molly Ringwald, Feud, Capote versus the Swans, premieres January 31st at 10 p.m. on FX. We'll be right back with the performance from Flo Milli. Stick around.